Good morning, everyone. Happy Turkey Day. Welcome aboard the brand new Midnight Express, the newest late night talk show here on the MI6 Sports Network. I'm your conductor, Isaiah Leon, coming to you live from Fremont, California. And ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad that you joined me aboard the Midnight Express tonight for this extremely wild ride across the entire world of sports, where we will be discussing the latest happening in the world of sports. In today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to keep it short. We are going to be talking about the two games here on Turkey Day in the NFL, which is the Houston Texans at the Detroit Lions to open up NFL Thanksgiving Day football. And then we've got the nightcap of our doubleheader. We've got the Washington football team at the Dallas Cowboys. I'll break down each game and give you guys my prediction for who I believe will win this game. Unfortunately, the game that we were all looking forward to here on Turkey Day, the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers, that was supposed to be the main course, has been postponed and moved to Sunday. So unfortunately, we won't be getting our main course tonight. We will be only be getting Houston at Detroit, followed by Washington football team at Dallas. And if you ask me, I am not looking forward to any of these matchups. These are two very, very dreadful matchups, two matchups that really don't have anything on the line. Number one, you've got Houston at Detroit. Houston, they've been reeling. The Houston Texans currently are 3-7. They fired their head coach, Bill O'Brien. They have an interim head coach, Romeo Crennel, 73-year-old, as their interim head coach right now. We all know that he's not going to get the full job or the permanent job at the end of the day. So the Texans, they are in need of a new head coach. Their organization is in shambles. They don't even have a GM as well. And Detroit, Matt Patricia, after that big win a couple of weeks ago, the Detroit Lions have just dropped two very, very disappointing games, and now they're 4-6, and most likely headed for another top 10 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. And Matt Patricia is heading for the unemployment line, so I'm not, overly excited to watch that game in the morning. And then Washington football team at Dallas. I mean, this game kind of has a meaning to it, and that is for the NFC East, as Washington, Philadelphia, and the New York Giants are in a three-way tie for first place in the NFC East. But let's face it, man, it's called the NFC least for a reason. That division is just absolutely atrocious. You're going to have a team in that division that makes the playoffs with 5 wins. I can guarantee you that right now. A team will make the playoffs with only 5 wins, and that's just an absolute disgrace. Plus, they get to host the playoff game, which makes it even more disgraceful. But, Washington football team, you have Alex Smith starting. Dallas, you have Andy Dalton starting. Just not really appetizing matchups here on Thanksgiving. But, hey, we got football. Can't complain. But we're going to break these two matchups down, and then we'll call it a debut show here on the Midnight Express. So, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, get ready. It's going to be a wild ride here on the Midnight Express. Before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to leave whatever comment or question that you may have for me, and I will, read it on the show as we go along here. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to make one more quick announcement before we go further here on the Midnight Express, and that is we here at the MI6 Sports Network are announcing our 31 hot takes and moment challenge. What that is we have 16 hot takes followed by 16 moments, and they will go up against each other in a very nice bracket done by my guy Callan McClurg, and it will be a 31 hot takes and moments challenge in 31 days. I can't wait for that. It's going to be great. We will be ending the year with that challenge. I think we have that bracket in here somewhere, but man, I cannot wait for after our break. Oh, there it is. Here's, ladies and gentlemen, is our 31 days of MI6 hot takes and moments. We've got uh, obviously my pina colada moment where I interrupted Shri and Trevor on an episode of Wild Sports Talk and I yelled out, "Hey, can I have a pina colada, please?" We've also got Ryan saying Adam Gase will be the new head coach at USC. We've also got Callan saying that Larry or Kobe Bryant is a better player than Larry Bird, the late great Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to him. And also, we've got other hot takes and moments like Callan wearing his shades whenever I go on a rant, or uh, Stephen Wang with his Gen Z clutch saying. Plus, we've also have Martin Garcia, LeBron James, not top four. We got a lot of hot takes, a lot of moments. So you guys will be able to vote on that. And the winner will be announced on New Year's Eve of 2020. It will be a great way to break into a new year in 2021. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. All right, let's get into today's games. So we've got first Houston at Detroit. Listen, the Texans are coming off a big win over the New England Patriots. Deshaun Watson, their quarterback, is electric as hell. You've got on the other side, you got Detroit. You know, Matt Patricia. He is supposed to be a defensive genius. Well, the Detroit defense has been god awful for the last 4 years. Matthew Stafford hasn't been able to stay healthy, and when he has, he's been, inconsistent. DeAndre Swift with that offense, Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones. They have like they have stud players on both sides. It's just that those two teams are right now heading for top picks in the NFL draft. But in terms of this game, I don't think Detroit's defense will be able to stop Deshaun Watson because I just think Detroit's defense, they're utterly horrific. Deshaun Watson is going to have a field day. If you have him in fantasy, I recommend you to start him in fantasy. This game is going to be a offensive shootout. I think you have two defenses that just absolutely stink. Deshaun Watson on one side, Matthew Stafford on the other. It's going to come down to who gets that one turnover to flip that game. And I believe that it's going to be the Houston Texans because let's not forget, even though their defense stinks, they still have J.J. Watt who can rush the passer. And J.J. Watt, he was one of the biggest turning points in that game last week against New England. He forced Cam Newton, or he batted down a Cam Newton pass on third down. And then on fourth down, he pressured Cam Newton. And, Cam Newton chased him out of the pocket, and Cam Newton had nowhere to go with the football, so he just threw it away. That was the big turning point, or that was the big finishing point in that game. And I just believe, J.J. Watt and that defense, they're going to make one impact play in that game against Detroit on Turkey Day, and the Texans will pull it out. I got the Texans winning this game by a final score of 35-31. It's going to come down to the final possession, and J.J. Watt and that defense, they're going to make a play to clinch this game for the Houston Texans. All right, let's move on to our second game of the night. Of the day. We've got Washington football team at Dallas. Like I told you guys earlier, this game, there's slight meaning to this game. These or Washington football team, New York Giants, and the Philadelphia Eagles, they're all tied for first right now in the NFC East. Dallas is a game back of them, so there is some meaning to this game. But if you look at these two teams, Dallas, they have that electric offense with Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and those guys, but their quarterback is Andy Dalton. You move to the other side. Washington, Alex Smith, Terry McLaurin. You've got Logan Thomas on the other side as well. But I think Dallas wins this game because I just think Dallas is a better team than the Washington football team. Yes, I know you guys probably saw the Thanksgiving show and you guys probably were like, Isaiah, how can you do this, man? How can you flip-flop on your pick But ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I can flip flop on this pick is when when information changes, I get to change my opinion, and that's why I'm changing my pick. I got Dallas winning this game because Dallas is overall the better team than the Washington football team. Even though I think though it's going to be a close game because I think Washington will be able to get pressure, a lot of pressure on Andy Dalton because they have a ferocious front seven, but it's all going to come down to the back end of that defense. And I don't think they can hold up against guys like Amari Cooper and CD Lamb. And I think Dallas does just enough to win that football game. Give me the Dallas Cowboys to win that football game by a final score of 24 to 14. So I got Houston beating Detroit, and I've got Dallas defeating the Washington football team. Ladies and gentlemen, put what you have winning these two games on Turkey Day, whether it's Houston or Detroit in game one, or Washington football team or Dallas in game two. I really want to know what you guys think will happen. Let's move on to our second topic, and it was a topic that I touched briefly upon on the AI show with me and Ashwin and Shriram Venagopal, as well as Martin Garcia on earlier tonight, and that is Vanderbilt. There's reports coming out of Vanderbilt that Vanderbilt is reluctant to fire their head coach Derek Mason, even though Derek Mason currently is in the midst of a winless season. The Vanderbilt Commodores are 0-7. They have a game against Missouri coming up, and then they finish up with Georgia. They're most likely going to go 0-9, have a winless season. But it doesn't look like Vanderbilt is going to fire Derek Mason. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that's utterly preposterous. I think that is showing that the university, they don't really care about their sports teams. They care more about the academics than their sports teams. And I know a lot of friends that go to Vanderbilt, and they care so much about their football team. They really want to see their football team succeed. And when Vanderbilt is good, the SEC is a great conference. So I think that it's just utterly preposterous. I think Derek Mason should have been fired, or he should be fired. I thought he should have been fired 2 years ago, but that's another story for a different day. But this guy, he's coming off a season in which they went 3-9. And now they followed up by going 0-10. How the heck do you keeping your job with those results? I mean, that's just utterly preposterous that you get to keep your job by going 3-9 and then following it up with 0-10 or 0-9. It just doesn't make sense. If Vanderbilt administrators could, put some more time and energy into caring what's going on with their football team, the football team would be a whole different story. I mean, they had James Franklin, but he left for Penn State, and they went out and got Derek Mason. He's been an utter disaster in 6 seasons with the Commodores. I mean, he's 26-53, ladies and gentlemen. He's 26-53 in 6 seasons. How many more times do you need to prove that you're the right man for the job at Vanderbilt? I think 6 seasons is more than enough time. He's 26-53 in 6 seasons. He needs to go. He needs to be fired. And Vanderbilt, they need a new start, man. They need a guy that can come in and change that culture of Commodore football. So I really hope that the administrators of Vanderbilt hears what I'm preaching right now and fires Derek Mason after the season, because he needs to go. 26-53 in 6 seasons, 3-9 last year, potentially 0-9 this year. That's 3-18 in 2 years. Not acceptable at all. Not freaking acceptable. So fire Derek Mason after the year. But anyways, guys, it's been a fun debut episode of the Midnight Express. I really want to express my appreciation for all of you guys that tuned in tonight. We don't really have a set time or date. Well, we do have a set time, which is every midnight we will go live and talk about sports, but we don't have a set date for it. So make sure you guys just keep tuning into the MI6 Sports Network page for any future shows that we might have here on the Midnight Express. But it was a great show. Make sure you guys share this video to whatever Facebook group, whatever group chat, Twitter, Instagram, share it everywhere. Get the word out. Get the word of the MI6 Sports Network out as well. And also, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on Anchor. The link should be in the description. And also, ladies and gentlemen, go check out our website, mi6sportsnetwork.wix. That's mi6sportsnetwork.wix, created by the fantastic Martin Garcia. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure talking to y'all. Have a great Thanksgiving. Make sure you guys, watch a lot of football, eat a lot of great food, and most importantly, just enjoy the precious time that you have with your family. Because in this world, in the years that we are living in right now, nothing is guaranteed. So stay safe, stay healthy, everybody. And I'll see you guys next week here on the Midnight Express. It's been a great show. Anyways, guys, have a great Turkey Day. And I will see you guys back here on the Midnight Express next week. Good night.